Welcome back to Weekend Movie Bro. I'm Jacob. It's Ray. Idiot. Actually, it's idiot. Fuck Ray. Fuck whoever that bitch is. It's idiot. Who are
And that's
you?
Magic Mike.
Ooh, this.
Yeah, that's Magic Mike.
Hi, I'm just coming in here to let you guys know that this is a pulled segment from our podcast. Whatever the image above is what the podcast, whichever podcast it is from, it's also going to be linked in case you guys want to watch the entire podcast. We normally do about 2 reviews per podcast. There are chapter times in it in case you want to jump around and just go to different sections or anything. Either way, not really that important. It's coming from that podcast. These are unedited, so any of our direct thoughts and opinions, I don't go back through, I don't edit them, I just post them like I would post a podcast, which does include some of the like ums or like random pauses or anything that I would normally take out in a normal video. They're also a part of it. I just want to give you guys a heads up for that. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into whatever you're watching.
A good note. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about secret. We'll need to announce what we're talking about. For anybody who's listening in audio, remember you can listen to us on audio. We're everywhere. We're doing Secret Invasion Season 1 spoiler discussion. That does mean if you've never seen Secret Invasion, you have not watched any of the episodes, or you've only watched like 3 of the episodes, and you're planning on watching the rest. This is the section you want to skip. The next one, in case you're listening to on audio, so you know where to skip to or trying to find or whatever, is what's going on with Master Universe. Once again, there are chapter times on YouTube that you can go into. You can get the exact timestamp that you need for the audio on YouTube. So just to give you a heads up in case you're trying to figure out how to surf the audio. That's the best and easiest way to do it.
I like that. Surf the audio. Find your right way.
Exactly. Very chill.
Unlike this show. Hey,
I know. So we are going to be...
That was harsh.
Now I'm getting fisted. So...
Man, that movie really put us on a perturb of jokes, didn't it?
Oh, I know what that word means. So, we are here to talk about Secret Invasion. I guess I'll go first.
Please do.
I guess because I have better outlook, I guess, on the show than Zachary did. So I guess that is good. You're going to hear like pros and cons on both sides. Con, they were too short. Con, they didn't know what they were doing in the story. Con, they really didn't know what they're doing in the story. Con,
Jacob, I thought you were the pro in this scenario.
We will get there. Hold on, we gotta get through some of the cons. Con, they really didn't know what they were doing with the story. Con, yeah, I'm just gonna keep saying it over and over again because where the fuck, like, I don't understand how you could have 5 episodes. I'm gonna go on a rant real fast, and then we'll get to that. I do have good things. I did like aspects of this show.
As did I, but I think the story as a whole was a real mishap.
Here's the thing. I knew I was walking into dumpster fire when the director had personally said to several articles that Kevin Feige had personally, or people at Marvel, had told him never to touch the source material. Okay, sure. That's fine. Let's see what you have planned. That's normal. That's great. My thing here is I don't think it needed to be called Secret Invasion. I think that was my big takeaway. I like the in-depth details about Samuel Jackson. I liked, or Nick Fury, his background, getting a little bit more information, a little deeper information. I liked his wife, to be honest with you. I liked Talos until he died, which was a really stupid death in retrospect.
And also had no impact?
I guess the actor really wanted it out. Because I think we've talked about this, well, me and Zach have talked about this, but I'll put my thoughts here on the fact. I think it would be much more impactful for him to become the Super Skrull in the end and have a fight with Gravix. That's where I think it should have went, not his daughter. I'm all for revenge. Okay, revenge is my favorite storyline in anything. You give me revenge, I will probably watch it. It could be the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. If it has revenge in it, it's probably getting a 0.5. Just because it has revenge. That's really the answer. So I'm for it. Nothing opposed. I think Emilia Clarke. We'll get to Emilia Clarke. I want to say good things, but I also don't really have like the best things to say, but I don't think that's Amelia Clark's fault. I think that's in the aspect of disappointing. But in a non-aspect of disappointing, Olivia Colman stole every single fucking scene she was in. Doesn't matter who she was working with. Her little that would be a character that I'd love to see pop up again in different aspects of the MCU. I think she is my favorite new character that they've added in a long time, like in like these like really small like little side roles or whatever, like Val and things like that. She is superior.
She reminds me of Coulson, like in just like the vibe he put with this with everything.
I just absolutely loved everything about it. But then you have other parts of it that I think are really weak, such as not giving us a direct time for Rhodey. When did Rhodey become a Skrull? And with the director being like, whenever the fans want. I'm
sorry.
What? I think it just reiterates the biggest problem with the MCU at the moment is its fucking timeline. The best part of the MCU was its timeline. Going to see an MCU movie means you're going to see an episodic event going in some point in the timeline. Doesn't mean it's directly after the last installment, but you know that you're dealing with the
in
same
general where it's gonna land.
In general. You can have flashbacks, you can have prequels, you can do whatever the fuck you want, but okay, this is somewhere in here, right? No. And also, this had nothing to do with the multiverse story whatsoever, which I personally mean, okay, then don't put it in the multiverse saga. If you don't have anything to do with multiverse, don't do it. I mean, sure,
Infinity should have popped up after Endgame.
Infinity Saga and things like that. Like that really weird phase that we were in. I definitely think Secret Invasion would have been much better there. I do agree with that statement 110%. Oh my god, yes. Oh my.
Right after Endgame.
No, I don't think right after Endgame.
Right after Endgame.
No, right
after Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Right after Far From Home.
Okay, right.
It should have gone Endgame, Far From Home, WandaVision, and then Secret Invasion. Set up the Skrulls and go into Secret Invasion.
Yeah, because I think
the last time we saw the Skrulls prior to this was WandaVision at the end of the.
I know, and that's the reason why it's super duper annoying. Because once again, the Marvels is also another aspect of the reason why Secret Invasion is just not going to work out, because they have too many setups for the end of the season, and you can't say, "Oh, that's because we're planning on doing a second season." We want to leave it open for ideas for a second season if we get a second season. Yeah, see, that's the problem that we're having here, Kevin. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Kevin.
You keep calling these things limited series. What do you want to do? Do you want to do seasonal shows, or do you want to do a one thing and done show? What do you want here, Kevin?
My issue, you cannot sell me on these being mini little movies with deeper connections to the characters that we didn't really get deeper connections to, which I think you've done a mediocre job at best. But and be like, oh, we're gonna have a second season, so any of these storylines don't matter just yet. Just be patient. Fuck no. No, you can't do this shit. No, you sold me on you have to watch the Disney Plus show to inherently get to the next stage. That's the importance of it. That's the reason why when WandaVision came out, Falcon and Winter Soldier came out, Loki came out, we were all watching the screen like it was the fucking like our life depended on it, because we were curious to see where the story was going. And then you're like, oh, we're going to do the multiverse. And sure, in concept, it sounded like a good idea. Concept, it sounded like a great idea, actually. We were all for it until we weren't. And now we're not there. And honestly, I would say the downfall of the Multiverse Saga was the first movie that dealt with the Multiverse Saga.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
No, Doctor Strange 2 and the Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, no, for me, that's just a weird little film in the middle. Ant-Man and the Wasp is really just...
No, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania was not a bad movie. I've seen it since then, and I still don't mind it. I thought it was like an okay movie. Not a great movie. Sure, not the best movie in the world. Not going to make my top 10. Don't kill me in the comments. But just fucking no. Shit. Jesus. Okay. Back to Secret Invasion. So I also enjoyed the final fight between Gravix. I enjoyed it because I liked seeing all the different elements of it. Seeing Amelia Clark kick ass, also pretty cool. And also, to be honest with you, this TV show cost $218 million. Where the fuck was that budget? Couldn't tell you. Oh, wait, I saw it, and it was okay. Also, biggest takeaway, two takeaways from the end. Was not mad that it wasn't like Samuel, going and fighting Gravix. I think that made a lot of sense. Also, if I was Gravix, I'd throw that fucking asshole out of the tube. Don't even tempt it. Be like, bye, bitch. I'm playing every segment of fucking Avengers in me, and I'm just gonna leave them in here just on. You're dealing with fucking shapeshifters, and you've already shapeshifted into him like 4 times. You know you don't need his blood. You know you don't need his brain. You just need to see what it looks like. You're gonna take the risk, and you're not gonna. Fucking idiot.
You've already shapeshifted into Nick Fury once in this season.
You deserve to die. That's my opinion. You deserve to die. So another aspect that did not, so that was like one thing, right? The other thing was the president. I like Dermot Mulroney every once in a while. He's not my favorite actor in the world. For instance, he's my least favorite aspect of Scream 6 and things. He's game. He's always game for whatever he's doing, which I do always like an actor that is just, I'm here to have fun and we're going to have a good time. I'm into that. So like, that's part of the aspects of why I enjoy about him. But we all know that he is not president. Like anybody who follows the MCU knows that the president is Thunderbolt Ross. Like Harrison Ford signed on to be the president of the United States. That was part of the reason why he signed on to the damn movie to begin with. Why not just fucking kill him?
Can we also say the MCU can't figure out its own presidents?
We're going to ignore that fact. But the important fact.
Iron Man 3? Anybody? Iron Man 3, anybody?
Who was the president of Iron Man 3?
No one remembers because they keep changing presidents.
Well, no. Well, yeah. I mean, by that point, there had been an election, okay? Like,
so who's this?
So, here's the thing. Endgame did happen.
Yeah.
Like during the snap, was there a president? Fuck you, Jacob. Tired Jacob. Moving on. So, he should have died. He should have died. Moral of the story, he should not have been saved. There was no point to it. And then him being like, oh, let's all kill all the Skrulls because they try to kill. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? Mass murder? 7 people died that were not supposed to die. I liked the violence. I did like how gory, like it got
intense.
It got a lot more violent than most MCU projects, which I do enjoy. Oh, that was fine. And I just like blood.
For the MCU, Jacob, watching that happen on screen, that's a lot for children.
Yeah, this was not a children's show.
No, but some children probably watched it.
Okay, so I didn't like that. Also, I felt like the only way to show a Skrull, like that they're a Skrull, is to kill them. Why not just fucking shoot Rhodey right away? Like, like, what was the point? Like, I mean, I get the beginning part. Yeah, you don't want to show your cards. But in the hospital, he's literally threatening you. I'm going to show everybody you killed, blah, 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 blah. Oh, fuck Maria Hill. But, R.I.P. Sorry, Colby. I know it really hurt. I know because you did interviews, you talked about how badly it hurt.
And I love that at the end of every episode, special guest star, Colby Smulders. It's like just to really nail it in the coffin.
She's like, you better put me in every recap so I can at least get a little bit of sense for that. By littles, I mean the SAG strike. She's probably getting paid 3 cents for every little scene. Sorry, I had to throw that one in there. But I threw my brain off. Where was I at? Oh, back up. Oh, yeah, so they should have just shot fucking Rhodey in the head in the hospital. What's the worst that they're going to do? What are they going to do, Samuel? You're fucking Nick Fury. You're plot armored. They're not going to shoot you, okay?
That's awesome. I've never heard it that way before. You're Iron Man. You're plot armored. Literally. They can't do it.
It's just... They're not gonna shoot you. I had the whole episode. They're like, oh, they're gonna kill Samuel. No, they're not gonna fucking kill Nick Fury. It's fucking secret. This is his show.
And also, we see him in the Marvels. He survived.
Yeah. Bad timing. Just saying. Time that out a little better. And also, no end credit scene. What the? This is not the show to do that with. I'm just saying. Even like it was just like a scene from the Marvels, like getting us excited for the next MCU project.
Because I don't know, like, didn't Miss Marvel do that same thing too?
Well, Miss Marvel, yeah, it was a direct clip. And you know what? It worked. It fucking worked. And it brought a powerhouse, an actress that they couldn't afford, but you had $212 million. You couldn't call Brie Larson. Like, that's also another thing.
This show needed Carol.
This show needed Carol.
For the first time in the MCU's history, an MCU project actually needed Carol Danvers. And the one time you needed her, she didn't show up.
Did you even call her? Were you like, do you want to even try to be here?
Damn it, the pager's not fucking working.
Because, like, and, you know, I understand. No, Secret Invasion should not have been a Disney Plus show.
No.
Okay, and then before I give it over to Zachary, because I guess my review was more negative than I thought, but that's okay. I had a lot more anger. Sleepy Jacob had more anger than non-Sleepy Jacob. Very sorry about that. I'm more enthusiastic, I guess, today. But I want to very quickly talk about Emilia Clarke, just because Emilia Clarke is one of my favorite actresses of all time, and I feel like I should address the elephant in the room, and that is Emilia Clarke. Her acting was not horrible. They just took every single bit of Emilia Clarke's personality, and they're like, haha, no. And, like, my opinion, if you're going to hire Emilia Clarke, why not allow her to, Emilia Clarke it?
You bring her on as the daughter of Ben Mendelsohn, and you do not allow them to have an emotional, impactful conversation once in this show, or let her, or no. I'll get to my point. Or let her have that emotional moment with her father. Instead, you let Ben Mendelsohn take all that acting there, when in reality, it could have been a back and forth. And so when he dies and she finds out, I'm not as sad.
Also, like, how do you, okay, another thing, okay, very important. How do you set up in Captain Marvel, okay, that she sees one of her own die by a human, and not make her the villain?
It makes sense.
And why would you hire Emilia? I mean, I get it. She has this, like, role, and you end up making her, like, the badass of the end or whatever. But how do you just make her, like, a side piece? Like, they're not even, like, if I was a Skrull, and she came up to me and she's like, I'm going to be your leader, I would look at her and laugh in her face and be like, what did you do? You sat there. You did nothing. You fucking did nothing.
She did nothing.
The whole time. And she didn't agree with Gravix, and she's like, I was working the other side. Yeah, all of them died.
Yeah, but here's the thing. She's like, I don't agree with Gravik. I don't like what he's doing. Goes talk to her dad. I don't agree with my dad. I don't like what he's doing. I'm just going to sit in the middle and pout about it. And it just, and that is why the final fight of this show does not work for me. She did not earn it.
No, I definitely don't agree she earned it, but I enjoyed it.
I didn't enjoy it because there was no earning to it. She didn't earn the fact to kill Gravik.
Also, if you're cutting off fingers, you're showing blood, you could cut off his fucking head. I think we all can agree as an audience member, whoever watched fucking Secret Invasion, that the only way you could kill off fucking Gravix is to cut off his fucking head. Like, he is a super Skrull, not like a tiny super Skrull. Super Skrulls in the comics, if you guys did not know, only had 4 powers. That was a Fantastic Four. Obviously, they can't do that because those people have...
They found a way to do it a little bit in this show.
Instead, you decided to give them like 138 superpowers. Bitch,
which takes away from what the Super Skrull is.
No, it just takes away the fun. Because, like, if you, like, for instance, Emilia Clarke's character can never be used again.
No.
Because she would win every single fight. Well, I mean, I guess if you do a photon blast to her chest, I guess she's dead, even though that makes no sense since they stabbed her with a fucking icicle in her chest, the same exact spot, and yet she lived. But, you know, continuity, not important, especially in like 4 minutes of time, Sam.
It's so sad for me to say this, but now we're at the point with the Disney MCU stuff to go like this, but like with the Fox stuff. Continuity, schmontinuity at this point. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm...
Starting Thursday, you have to use a key to get into the building.
It's gonna take over for a second. Just they're talking. It's not, you know, our business or things. But with that being said, you know, I really fucking hate it. You know, and I mean, I liked a lot of it. I like parts of it, but oh, idiot's back. Okay, here we go. We brought him back in. He's here. I did, you know, that seemed like a personal conversation. I was about trying to respect your privacy. But Zachary, I talked for a while. I think my opinion. I think overall, okay. Let's do a few things at the end. One, I want to know roughly your rating overall for the overall season, not episode by episode, and your overall ranking in the Disney Plus shows where you would put Secret Invasion. When you get done with your whole spiel, like whatever the review you're going to give, okay? Me personally, okay, I think my overall rating would be like a 6.25. I enjoy aspects of this, and don't even get me started with the fact that they made a lot of the trolls black and they decided to do nothing with that whatsoever when there could be such a good grounded conversation that could be had with that, especially with Samuel Jack. I mean, there's so many different things they could have done, and they decided, fuck that, never mind. You know what I mean? That's kind of bullshit. And then ranking wise, it's definitely down there because I didn't like Loki. You know, Loki's pretty far down my list. I would say it's down there with like Moon Knight and Loki. I know there's a lot of people that's sacrificial, but whatever. Hold on. Let me take a quickie looky at the. What the? No, Jesus. This is not what I wanted. Ooh.
Here's the list for you if you can't find it. It is WandaVision, The Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, What If, and now this.
You read those really fast.
Sorry. WandaVision, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, Hawkeye, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and now Secret Invasion.
And What If. So I would say personally, from my opinion, I mean, if you've been following the channel for a while, you kind of know which ones are my favorites, which ones are not my favorites. I would put it down there with Moon Knight because I didn't really vibe with Moon Knight the entire time. That was one of those endings I did enjoy. I felt like it did a pretty good job with the last episode. I mean, I didn't like the end, but I felt like it did okay. Either way, not important. Moon Knight, Loki, What If? Like, it's in the very bottom. Secret Invasion. It doesn't hold up. Where I was hoping that this would be a new, like, WandaVision, Hawkeye for me, where it would be like a constant, like, rewatch. Hawkeye I watch every Christmas, you know. I'm very, very excited. We're getting closer to Christmas, which means it's getting closer. Yelena Pavlova time eating mac and cheese with hot sauce, frightening people. I'm so excited.
We actually eat mac and cheese with hot sauce when you watch the show? Probably not.
I sure do.
Oh.
You gotta respect.
You eat hot sauce?
You know what? This is not the conversation, Zach. We're having your fucking thoughts on Secret Invasion. Sorry for cursing. I am losing my filter completely.
This is how I feel about Secret Invasion. This show was terrible. I did not like anything about it. There was nothing redeeming. Nothing. This is the one true Marvel thing that I cannot find a redeeming quality about. Not one. I don't think they handled the story right. I don't think they handled the message they were trying to convey correctly. I think this was just a great way of Samuel L. Jackson to get a really good paycheck and do a show. And to me, it's bullshit. They killed off one of the great female characters of the MCU for no reason, just because they're like, hey, it adds shock value. They diminished one of my favorite side characters in Talos, and his death meant nothing to me. It didn't have an impact. It didn't leave anything. The Rhodey thing could have been more impactful to find out that he's been a Skrull for this long, which means that in theory he was not there for Tony's death at Endgame. And they didn't address that. To say that it's just up to our interpretation of where he was at, I think is bullshit. They don't know where he was at, and so Marvel has nowhere to tell us to put him at. This is just drawing to my conclusion that Marvel has lost their way. They do not know what to do right now. They have not found their fit. They can put out decent one-shot stories involving legacy characters, but overall continuity-wise, they have lost their way. And this show was the definition of that in a nutshell. My review will be short and sweet to that point. This ranks below What If for me. This is the worst one they've put out. I can still find appreciation in most What If episodes. I can't find anything in this. The wife is the closest thing I would give this show, but she's barely in it. And when she's in it, she does steal the majority of her scenes. They were teasing Emilia Clarke as this big mystery character prior to the show's release. And like Jacob said, they gave nothing to her. She sat around and pouted for the majority of the show. And then randomly they gave her superpowers and she put a pole through this guy's chest. That was her arc in the show. Olivia Colman, I disagree with you 110%. I think she was an outlook in this show. She did not fit this show at all. Her character didn't fit the show. Her character felt like a very out of place character. And so she didn't work for me at all the majority of the time. How she randomly showed up in the hospital? Sure, that happened. The president thing, I could give two shits about it. Nothing in this show means anything. They're not going to address it in Secret Invasion. They're not going to address the progression for the Skrulls and the Marvels. They're not going to mention it. My biggest issue is your biggest issue. There is no continuity between the Disney Plus shows and the Marvel movies. There's none. They try to.
Once again, we have not seen the Marvels, right. And so we could be pleasantly surprised.
I hope I am. I hope I am.
But I just have a strong feeling that we will not be.
Yeah, because a lot like with Doctor Strange and WandaVision, there was no talking between the writers of the one movie or the other, and that's why she was upset that she had to do the same arc again. And so, yeah, I
think. Sorry, you let me talk. I'll let you talk.
That's why I'm so excited for Loki, in that Loki is a season 2 to a season 1 that I absolutely adore, and that I'm invested in its characters. I know where we're going with that. I know the concept and the ideas of it, and it has an idea of where it wants to go. Secret Invasion from episode 1 to episode 6 had no idea where it wanted to go. Every week it got shorter and shorter and quicker and quicker. So by the time we got to the finale, everything just, and it's super annoying. It's super annoying. This gets a 4 for me out of 10. This is the weakest thing Marvel's put out in about a decade. I put Eternals over this. That's how much it shows. I'll watch She-Hulk again for sure.
You didn't even finish She-Hulk.
But that tells you something. I'll go back and finish She-Hulk before I start doing this again. I'll go back and watch Hawkeye again. Jacob knows Hawkeye was not my favorite thing that year. I enjoy moments of Hawkeye, but here's the difference. I enjoy moments in Hawkeye. The stuff with Yelena, the stuff with Clint and his family, the stuff that really, really worked.
You just need to move on. I'm going to start crying. It hurt my heart.
But yeah, no, this is the worst Disney Plus show they've put out. I like this better than I like Book of Boba Fett better than this.
No. This is 10 times spades better than Book of Boba. No. I would rather cut out my eyeballs.
At least Book of Boba Fett had a connecting story that made sense by the end.
No. Listen to me. I'd rather cut out my eyeballs with a very dull blade with all the diseases in the world on it before I watch Book of Boba Fett again.
I enjoyed Mando season 3 more than Secret Invasion.
Hey, I thought Mando season 3 is fucking phenomenal. I don't know what everybody else thought.
The first half of Mando season 3 is fantastic. The second half of Mando season 3 has no idea what it wants to do.
Well, here's the thing: we still have yet to finish it, but I've heard nothing but good things. So I'm just assuming we're just going to be on a trail of happiness. So that's where I'm at.
But yeah, that's Secret Invasion.
I had one more thing to add. 2 things to add: one bad, one good. The good thing is that out of all the Marvel shows that come out so far, outside of like WandaVision and things like that, I do have to say they knew how to end an episode.
They did.
I think they had a really good cliffhangers, really good talking points at every episode. Some at the extent of the episode, some not at the extent of the episode, but I do think it made the TV show watchable and made people feel like they needed to watch it, which is good. And I think that should be a note to take for almost every Disney Plus show going forward. End with your cliffhangers. You want to make sure people keep coming back. The best way to keep people coming back, if you end in a way that makes them want to watch more, make them remember that they need that this is coming back. This is So I think Secret Invasion at least had that going for it, because I do think anybody that did watch it, very small viewership, anybody who did decide to watch it week to week, was rewarded because I did get a cliffhanger every week, which made them want to come back.
The other thing I have an issue with this show, we will talk about in the second podcast.
We will?
Yes. It involves the intro to the show.
Oh. Yeah. No, that's fair. And then the negative being here, are they going to address that he gave Carol's blood to a scroll?
No.
Like, I really hope that at least this is a conversation. Make it a scene. Do a reshoot. A real fat. Oh shit! Yeah. Never mind, Marvel. You fucked up. Push it. Push it. Push it real good.